Hi, I'm Kara O, and this is Titillating Tuesday, which means we're going to talk about sex some more. And today I'm going to begin the conversation. There's a lot to be said about women and orgasm. It's surprising how difficult it is for some women. I know men, it's like, huh? There are a lot of books on the topic that teach women how to have an orgasm, and men find that just mind-boggling. I actually have an article on my news on my one of my websites that teach women how to masturbate. A lot of women never have. A lot of women have never had an orgasm. They don't know what it feels like. So one of the reasons is we have this thing now we know. Actually, it's pretty recent that we've learned this differences between men's and women's brains. Women have lots more going on back and forth with all different parts of their brain functioning. What that causes is us to be able to track a lot of things at one time. And that makes sense because when we evolved, we've been on this planet an awful long time, and it's most of the history of mankind has been about survival. And being a woman, you have to pay attention to your environment. You're the hunter-gatherer type. Paying attention to the environment. You have a baby, brand new baby, you have a 2-year-old, you have a 4-year-old, you have a whatever. You've got these different ages that need to be watched because they're doing different things. One's in a tree and one's over here that's needing to be nursed. You have grandma and grandpa who are sick and you need to be paying attention to them if they're coughing. You're cooking meals, you're making pottery, you're talking. I mean, we're doing a ton of things at one time. The problem is, when you're in bed and you want to have an orgasm, you're thinking about all these different things. The reason men are so good at it is because they can just focus in on the one thing. They're not all over the map. I think it would freak them out if they really could climb inside our heads and know what we're thinking about when we're making love. It's scary. It's really scary. We can be thinking about, oh my God, he just touched my butt, I'm too fat. That can just short-circuit everything. Or you hear a noise and you think it's one of the kids. Short-circuit. It hurts a little bit. Short-circuit. You know, most men, you hurt them a little bit and they can kind of recoup, unless you really hurt them. But they can recoup, you know, because they got this one goal. They're focused on it. Whereas for us, it can just, I mean, there's so much that can short-circuit it. No, even if we're right close, all of a sudden, some little thing happens and it's done. So it's a lot to do with our mind. And to be able to be more successful, I mean, one of the statistics, I'm picking up on the statistics all the time, and I actually looked it up on the internet recently. The percentage of women who are able to have an orgasm just from intercourse, that's like with not all the foreplay and whatever, it's like 20%, 22%, with nothing but intercourse. And I've talked to a lot of women, and the only reason that the ones that can, it's more like 45% when they get the right stimulation. And then it's not every time. It's, you know, sporadic. We don't know what makes it come and go sometimes. The women that I know that I've talked to about how that can have an orgasm from intercourse, it's usually because they get to be on top and they get to maneuver themselves into the right position. Whereas for a man, I mean, there's only one position, that's it. It's real easy. But women are, you know, we're kind of a mystery, and we're built a little bit different. Some, the clitoris is a little further back, some it's further forward. I mean, there's all kinds of things that go on. And one thing that works one time, it doesn't work the next time. We're a mystery and a conundrum all at one time. So it's pretty fascinating that there aren't any books, I can't find any, that teach men how to have an orgasm or how to masturbate. There's a bunch of books for women because it is a problem. And mostly It's because we have all this stuff going on in our head, and, which I've mentioned in previous lessons, we don't tell the guy what we want. When I was teaching my workshops on sexuality, I would always ask the women, what do you want me to tell the men when I teach the men's workshop? And the big thing was, tell them to slow down. So for any men who might be watching this, a lot of the time, women need about 30 minutes on average to be able to build up to an orgasm. That's quite a while, whereas men need just a few minutes, like 5 minutes. Huge difference there, huge. And if a man is kind of focused on what he needs, that's a bad lover, is a man who focuses on his needs and ignores hers. A good lover is a man who understands what a woman needs and is willing to take the time that she requires and is willing to find out what makes it all work for her. And for a guy who really loves the woman, he kind of likes that it's a little bit of a mystery and it can change from time to time. But you need to tell him what's going on. And I mean, like I said, this is a huge topic. This will not be the last time we talk about it. I actually want to go out and talk to men about this because I think men don't realize that there are books on this topic. Certainly aren't any for them. So for now, that's a little bit to think about. And I hope that maybe at the very least you'll learn how to focus in a little more. Just stay focused on what's going on in your own body and be able to ask for what you want. Those are two things that will help. So for now, I'm Kara O, wishing you lots of lip smacking love and lots of orgasms. Mwah!